We were asked a question, do we like Frozen? And we said, oh my God, we love Frozen. That would be awesome. And somehow that has become a story. I mean, I also like Darth Vader, but he's not coming on.
We're fans of Frozen, we're fans of Brave, we're fans of a million Disney properties that we feel, and fairy tales and stories that we feel would be great parts of the show. But, what we're doing right now, this season is we're really focusing on the characters you've seen and the ones we've introduced.
We designed this season as to be two separate seasons. So there was the Neverland, and as we said, there was a beginning, middle, and end. And so for the Wicked Witch, it's the same thing. We plan to complete this season's arc so that what we set up in the beginnings of 12 episodes in the beginning, we'll finish the story by the end.
If we're lucky enough to continue for however many years, we sort of attack that. We try to have a broad sense of where we would want the show to ultimately finish and end, whenever that might be, but we can really only attack it one season at a time. The issue of Henry and his memory
gets resolved.
Yeah, it gets resolved, and it comes to the forefront rather quickly. Obviously before the end of the year, and what happens with Henry is really key to what happens as the climax between our heroes and the witch. I think that the mystery of that missing year will be definitively resoled. Before the end of this year.
We're going to see a big chunk of that next week.
Yes.
In episode 19 called.
Curious Thing. This week is big.
Curious Thing. Pan, what we loved is at the end of the day, we wanted to create, to us, anyone who wants to live 14 forever is the most selfish person in the world. And then when we knew he was Rumpel's dad, we wanted his end goal just to be self-preservation. We loved the idea of just selfishness as opposed to world domination.
I think as far as the witch goes, we've shown some of the past that shaped her into who she was. I think we're going to delve a bit more into her and what she's doing and why. And a lot of our so-called evil characters or bad characters or characters who take adversity and things that happen to all of us, and they react in a different way.
What we really liked when we came up with the Wicked Witch is somebody that magic, she was just a natural at it. Her being so proficient in magic and Regina realizing that would kind of throw her off her game. And so, what is when you think you're the best and then you find out that the person that told you were the best really didn't think you were the best, how do you come back from that? I think there's no greater stakes than family, and I think family is a very universal theme, and I think the things that are interesting about fairy tales is they tell us how to live our life or be with our family or how we deal with the loss of a family member. And for us, this was always about a dysfunctional family trying to come together and get their happy ending.
Look, it's not something we take lightly. Like, we love the character, we love Michael Raymond James, and it's when you're telling a large serialized story like we're endeavoring to do, there are ups and downs in that story for these characters, and this was one of the most difficult things we've had to do on the show in the entire run.
When he lost Emma and Henry at the end of the first 11 and they went to New York, we love the idea of him starting to go down the same path his father did, which was, I will do anything to get with my son, no matter the cost, and then realizing that his father sacrificed himself for him, so the person that he always thought was a coward finally redeemed himself, and so Neil had to honor that, and we liked that kind of history repeating itself in a knot. And unfortunately, that many had to die.
The ripples of the death have not stopped being felt.
Yeah.
If you can, as you continue to watch this season, you can see that play. Not this year,
but definitely we love Ian Bailey and we love that character. So he's always on our mind.
We have August is in our mind and how to continue to incorporate him in the show. There's more to be told, and there's a lot of craziness going on in Storybrooke right now that they both got to deal with.
Unfortunately, Emma wants to go back to New York, and Hook wants her to stay. So we'll see what happens.